Imagine the happiest day of your life turning into a nightmare. For Tara, that nightmare became a reality. She was in the delivery room, her heart filled with excitement and anticipation, ready to meet her baby for the first time. But as the hours stretched on, a sense of unease started to creep in. The pain wasn't just labor pain. It was different, sharper, more alarming. Something was wrong. Tara tried to explain this to her nurse, Nancy. She described the intense, localized pain, her voice tight with worrying. But her concerns were met with a dismissive wave of the hand. "It's just labor," Nancy said, her tone suggesting Tara was simply overreacting. First-time moms always think it's worse than it is. "Just try to breathe through it." Tara tried again, insisting that this felt different, that her instincts were screaming at her. But Nancy just rolled her eyes, adjusted the monitors, and left the room, leaving Tara feeling unheard, invisible, and terrified. This isn't just one woman's story. It's a reflection of a much larger, systemic problem, racial bias in healthcare. Study after study has shown that Black patients, particularly Black women, often have their pain and symptoms dismissed or undertreated compared to their white counterparts. A 2016 study from the University of Virginia found that a significant number of white medical students and residents held false beliefs about biological differences between Black and white people, like thinking Black people have thicker skin or less sensitive nerve endings. These are not just abstract statistics. They have real-world, life-or-death consequences. Think about it. When a medical professional holds these subconscious biases, they are less likely to believe a Black patient's description of their pain. They might delay ordering crucial tests, undertreat their suffering, or, like in Tara's case, completely dismiss their pleas for help. This disparity is a major reason why, in the United States, Black mothers are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white mothers. It's a shocking, heartbreaking statistic that we cannot afford to ignore. Back in that hospital room, Tara was growing weaker. The pain was unbearable, and a feeling of dread washed over her. Her husband, seeing her distress and feeling utterly helpless, repeatedly went to the nurse's station, begging for someone to listen. Each time, he was met with the same placating responses, told to be patient, that everything was fine. But it wasn't fine. Tara felt like she was fading, her body screaming a warning that no one was hearing. She was trapped in a system that was supposed to care for her but was instead failing her at the most vulnerable moment of her life. Just when all hope seemed lost, a new shift began. Dr. Ramirez, a compassionate and experienced physician, walked into the room to introduce herself. She took one look at Tara's pale face, the sweat on her brow, and the sheer terror in her eyes, and she knew. She didn't just look at the monitors, she looked at the patient. She listened. When Tara, with what little strength she had left, whispered about the searing pain, Dr. Ramirez didn't dismiss it. She leaned in closer, her expression serious. "Tell me exactly where it hurts," she said, her voice calm but firm. Her immediate and thorough examination revealed what Nancy had ignored for hours. Tara was suffering from a placental abruption, a severe and life-threatening condition where the placenta detaches from the uterine wall. The baby was being deprived of oxygen, and Tara was bleeding internally. There was no more time for debate or dismissal. Dr. Ramirez called a code, and the room exploded into a flurry of urgent, coordinated action. Tara was rushed into an emergency C-section. She was barely conscious, her last thought a desperate prayer for her baby. Thanks to Dr. Ramirez's quick thinking and decisive action, both Tara and her baby survived. But the emotional and physical scars of that day remain. Tara was left to grapple with a terrifying truth. If Dr. Ramirez hadn't started her shift at that exact moment, she and her child might not be here today. Her joy at becoming a mother was forever tainted by the memory of being ignored, of having her life and her baby as life hang in the balance simply because her pain wasn't taken seriously. This story highlights the critical importance of patient advocacy. We are taught to trust medical professionals, and we should, but we also need to trust our own bodies. If you feel that something is wrong, you have the right to be heard. You have the right to a second opinion. You have the right to ask for a different doctor or nurse if you feel you are not being treated with respect and care. This is especially crucial for Black women and other people of color who are navigating a healthcare system that has historically failed them. So, what can we do to change this? For medical professionals, the first step is acknowledging that implicit bias is real and that it affects patient care. Hospitals and medical schools need to implement comprehensive, ongoing anti-bias training. This isn't about pointing fingers or blaming individuals. It's about rewiring the systemic flaws that allow these disparities to persist. It's about creating a culture of listening, empathy, and accountability. For all of us, as patients, friends, and family members, it's about being prepared and being vocal. If you're going to the hospital, especially for something as significant as childbirth, consider having a patient advocate with you, a partner, a friend, a doula, someone whose job it is to speak up for you when you can't. Write down your questions and concerns beforehand. Don't be afraid to say, "I don't feel heard," or "I would like another doctor to assess me." Tara's story had a happy ending, but for far too many, it does not. The names Serena Williams and Shalyn Irving are stark reminders of this crisis. Serena, a world-class athlete, had to fight with her medical team to get the CT scan that ultimately revealed the blood clots in her lungs after giving birth. Shalyn Irving, a brilliant epidemiologist at the CDC who studied health inequity, died just 3 weeks after giving birth from complications of high blood pressure, after her own concerns were reportedly downplayed. If this can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. Health equity shouldn't be a lottery. It should and depend on getting the right doctor or nurse on the right shift. Every single person, regardless of their race, deserves to be listened to, believed, and treated with the highest standard of care. Tara's experience is a powerful call to action. We must demand better from our healthcare system. We must amplify the voices of those who have been dismissed and work together to build a future where no one's pain is ignored. Thank you for listening to this important story. If it resonated with you, please share it to raise awareness. And if you have a similar story, consider sharing it in the comments to let others know they are not alone. Let's continue this conversation and fight for change. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that matters.